Hi again, friends. In this lecture, I'd like to go over the curriculum of the course so you understand it well, and I'd like to give you the option of certification, Green Belt certification. So I'd like to explain both of those things. Attached to this lecture are two maps, and I suggest that you download them both now. It'll be easier as we go through this if you can look at them on paper. But one is the overall learning map that as we go through the course, and the second one is the certification map, those things that you'll need to do if you want to achieve Green Belt certification. First of all, I want to say this course is not intended to be one of those courses that you whip through. There's something about our Sesame Street culture where we think the objective is to quickly get through things. It's like children now look at you when you're angry at them and they go, they want to change the picture on the screen. This course is about serious learning and about developing skills. And that's not something you do just quickly, it's something you do over time. So my advice, but I know you can do it any way you want, but my advice is that you really plan to go through this course not in a couple days or a couple hours, but over a 6-month period where you're actually doing things. You're taking the lesson. This is how I've designed the course. I've designed the course so you learn something up here, and then you go practice it, and maybe with a coach you get feedback on it. And that's the way real learning occurs in the real world. And I've worked in the real world helping people learn and change the culture and change their habits for a long time. And that's my recommendation to you. So let's look at the map of the curriculum of the course. This is the overall map. I know it looks a little crazy and confused, but we'll focus in, and it's not that crazy. There are 3 major phases of the course. The first, which is the top line in orange there, is the planning and organizing your team phase. We'll go through that. And then there is the improvement process where you work with your team and you solve problems, you map your processes, you develop standard work, you do all those things that are really going to improve performance in the organization and the performance of your team. And then the green section on the bottom is developing skills. I asked myself, I said, okay, and I've worked on developing high-performing teams for a long time. And there's just sort of actually what the team does in terms of using problem-solving methods and so forth. But then there are skills of the team leader that are not what the team does, but they're skills that it's really important for the team leader to have, like listening skills and facilitation skills and so forth. So that's that third section of the course. And each of the boxes is a section of the course, and within each of these sections there may be only one, but there may be 5, 6, or 7 different lectures depending upon how complex the material is. So let's just look at the planning and organizing section here. There's some lectures on what is lean management, because this whole course is based on a model of what is so-called ideal management, and it's high-performing teams and a high-performing organization built on the lean model, Toyota Production System. So you need to understand lean principles. Then there's organizing your team. Who does what role and responsibility? What are the different roles and responsibilities? Developing a team charter that says, why are we here? What's our job as a team? And then there's stages of team development that are worth understanding, clarifying who makes what decisions, how are decisions made in the team, very, very important. And then there's developing your team scorecard. Every team in the real world that performs well knows their score. And they have their score in real time. They know what the critical performance indicators, the KPIs, key performance indicators are, and they set targets for those, and they work towards those targets. Within this largest phase of the course, this is where we really improve performance. And it starts with understanding who your customers are, defining customer requirements, situation analysis, the different problem-solving models of root cause analysis, or the 5 whys, PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act, problem-solving model, the A3 problem-solving model, Eliminating waste, mapping your workflow, mapping your work process, eliminating waste, identifying variances in the work process, and developing standard work. Standard work is very important in terms of defining tasks that each member of the team does, and you continuously improve off of standard work. So you need to have standard work to engage in continuous improvement. So that's the sort of the core of the course. And then these are additional skills that I think are very important. Facilitating your team, how you facilitate your team, how you listen well. To be a great manager today, you've got to be empathetic, you've got to be able to listen, you've got to be able to understand what's on the mind of your people. Very, very important. Giving and receiving feedback, what I call straight talk, very, very important. Resolving conflicts, both between individuals, but also among your team. And I'm going to give you sort of a model of looking at the culture of your team, the normal habitual behavior, and trying to create a culture that is a culture not of debate, but a culture of dialogue, where people are able to reach consensus well. And then there's finally, the last section of the course is looking at system performance around the team, the systems that impact the performance of the team. So that's the curriculum of the course, and you'll see this, my little mountain climber here, you're going to be sick of him. You'll see him, but it's a very basic idea that I want you to think about. We rarely in life do we achieve great things in one leap. We achieve them in baby steps, walking up the mountain, if you will, step by step. And that's how great organizations improve their performance. That's how great managers seek to improve their performance and the performance of their teams. And there are always sort of two sides of it. There's data. I'm very data-oriented. I want you to be very data-oriented. We'll talk a lot about that. But there's knowing the facts and watching the data and using that data to judge whether what you're doing is working or not working. But then there are also the soft skills. There's data on how people behave, right? And learning the skills. So there are always those two sides that drive performance up the mountain towards the big challenge of becoming a high-performing team and optimizing performance. Certification. Let me just talk about certification for a second. And this is optional. You can do this or not do this, but I believe in reward and recognition. And I believe that if you do those things that I'm proposing that you do in this course, you actually practice the behavior, you're going to learn new skills, and you deserve to be recognized for achieving those new skills. So I've arranged for a Green Belt certification from the Institute for Leadership Excellence to give to you if in fact you do these things. Now, this map identifies, and I suggest you print this out, and also attached to this is a complete list of the action items, the exercises that you need to complete in order to achieve your Green Belt certification. But this map, I've identified what I think are just critical sections of the course and critical action items. That they're the ones in green. It's the Green Belt, right? So they're in green. And if you do those and you send me, you have to demonstrate to me that you have accomplished these, I will then send you certification that you've achieved your Green Belt. I will not only send you a certificate of achievement that you've achieved your Green Belt, I will also send you a little reward. I know it's not a big deal, but my 3 most recent books, Team Kata, which is exactly what this course is about, developing the habits of good teamwork, a book on coaching, The Lean Coach, and a book on developing lean organization called Getting to Lean. I will send you an ebook version of those 3 books when you achieve this. It's the best I can do in terms of a little reward. If I were the leader of your organization, I'd do more. I'd use this to reward people who actually go through and achieve this. So that's the curriculum. That's how you achieve the Green Belt certification. Let's get going. Thanks.